everybody, welcome back to Feedback Loop. I'm Joey.
And I'm Jeremy.
What? That was way too long, Jeremy.
Yeah, I was thinking to so first off, I was taking a drink when you were doing your intro like I normally do. And then the time came for me to introduce myself. I'm Jeremy, again, by the way. And I was thinking, maybe I'm going to do something different. But I didn't start thinking about that until you already stopped talking. And I was like, yeah, and it's, yep, that's awkward. I'm Jeremy. Off to a roaring start tonight.
I do that in my real life all the time, where I just stare at somebody for way too long because I try to think of something to say, and then I forget that I was thinking of something to say. And then by the time I realize it, I'm just like, well, it's too long, so I'm going to walk away now.
I walk away. Turn your back. Leave the room.
Okay.
We talk about music.
Yeah.
I mean, we have all the time in the world, Joey, this week.
Yeah.
Because normally we talk about an album. This week we're talking about an EP, which is considerably shorter. It's 5 tracks, but it's like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
long.
15. No, 13? Like 13:50 maybe.
Yeah, sure. I was ballparking it.
Yeah.
In the 13 to 15 range.
Yeah, because most of the songs are like between 2 and 3 minutes. All of the songs actually are between 2 and 3 minutes.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, but it's okay. The name of the album. Jesus,
what are we fucking talking about?
Okay.
We're off the rails.
So the EP is called Lately. It's by a guy named Still Woozy. That's not his actual name, but that is.
It's going to comment on that.
That is the name he has chosen to release music under. So
yeah, it's his alias, his artist name.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. You know, we were listening to Half Alive last week, and there were some things that gave me similar vibes. First vibe of the night.
Check.
I was just like, still Woozy, man. Let's fucking do it. I don't care if it's 13 minutes long.
Yeah, and it's a shorter format, so it makes it easier for us to listen to it throughout the week. Easier for us to make notes for it, and it's easier for the listener to listen to.
Yeah.
So I think I don't think anyone's going to give a shit or complain. If you think this episode is too long or too short, I don't know why I said too long. If you think this episode's too short, let us know, I guess. But I feel like that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I think the biggest complaint is going to be that our intro sucked this week, if there are complaints, if people actually listen.
Or the next biggest complaint is that people are going to listen to this episode and be like, all the other episodes are way too long.
Yeah. Could be. In which case, I'm not changing anything. Yeah. So deal with it or go somewhere else, I guess.
But, in the spirit of actually having a shorter episode,
not just us rambling for 45 minutes.
The album art is actually pretty fucking bonkers. And it's
wild.
This dude, all of his album art is just like weird, and it's the same artist on all of it. It's very like weird. I don't want to say abstract because it's still clearly like you can tell what it is, but it's like Picasso or something, but to a lesser degree.
It's kind of surreal, kind of.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess abstract kind of fits it. It's abstract, but still reality.
Yeah, and it also so this album art is like some weird, pale, naked humanoid that I'm guessing. No, I don't know if it's a guy. It's like there's literally no way to tell.
It was a girl. Yeah, my instincts tell me it's a girl. Because of the lips, they're bright red, so it looks like lipstick, but also the fingernails and the toenails. Yeah. All of these things are obviously not limited to females, but statistically speaking, chances of it being a female seem higher to me.
Yeah, and I always thought it was a guy just because
you can see boobies.
Well, that's not even really a thing. I think I just typically assign my own gender to things that are ambiguous that I see.
To be fair, it is very androgynous, right? There's no hair on the head. There's not a lot of defining facial features outside of the red lipstick that I mentioned, but that could just be it wasn't supposed to be lipstick. It was just supposed to be lips, kind of a thing. And very flat-chested individual that looks like they just have pecs. They're not wearing any clothes. They're kind of curled up, so you can't see any genitalia, thankfully. Thankfully, I don't know if I want to see.
Man, I'm into that. What are you talking about?
This creature, this humanoid. I think humanoid is the best way to describe it. It looks like a naked dude.
Yeah,
a naked person.
all curled up in the fetal position, and there's like, it looks like Napoleon Dynamite drew a Jaguar next to it.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, there's like a ripped ass little leopard dealio going on.
He does.
There.
He's got some muscles, man.
He's standing. He's got one paw on a steak of some sort, some fleshy slice.
And then there's also a catfish behind said humanoid creature,
which is very like pink lemonade colored.
Yeah,
like it is yellow, and its eyes and fins, flippers. Is there a distinction there? I don't think so. There's pink accents on the yellow catfish.
Yeah, and it's. I feel like it's supposed to mean something, and I can almost glean some sort of meaning, but I'll get to that after we've discussed a little bit of the songs, because but yeah,
it sounds like you're just burning to get to the discussion like some sort of lava man.
I am a lava man. And also the first track is lava.
First segue of the night in the bag.
Boom. So before we started this, I told Jeremy, hold on a second, I have to listen to this song. And he was like, what? Are all the songs just running together because they're not memorable? And I was like, no. Because my first note that I wrote like a week ago, whenever I first started writing my notes, was, it's very wowie coming in at the start.
Yes. I almost wrote Bwompy, but then I was like, I use Bwompy too much to describe a wide variety of things, and it's probably not a good descriptor.
Yeah.
But I agree with you.
Yeah, so I had to refresh it. But it's like this wowie kind of electronic sound coming in, and then he's got like he does a lot of mixing of like a clean guitar tone with the electric and like drum kit and stuff, which he actually has commented on before. Like he considers that his sound, and he calls it wooze, which I mean,
wooze,
like he's still woozy. A lot of his music I feel like could fit into, like, you could say it's a woozy category. So
sure,
I feel like
it's a new genre of wooze music, woozic, if you will. But yeah, he's got the funky kind of plucky sounding clean guitars, the synths, like you said, very very wowie.
Yeah,
it's very groovy bass and very like groovy in general. Just like the whole like feeling of the whole EP, honestly, is very kind of like funky, groovy kind of deal, but also with some kind of lo-fi aspects mixed in throughout it.
Yeah,
the vocals on this, I'm assuming it's him. If it's just one dude,
that
does most of the stuff.
It is.
They're kind of interesting. I don't know if I want to say that they're like impressive necessarily. Which is obviously an insult, and I'm not meaning it to be that way. But it was just like, it's very calm and sedated, I think. And I don't know, it kind of gave me a Beatles vibe for some of the songs and stuff. Some of the ways he sings things just kind of like reminded me of like a calm kind of Beatles style to it.
I could feel it. He does have a very restrained way of singing. Like he switches back and forth between like falsetto and regular singing a lot. Like, and I mean, I like the style of it. Whenever he's not singing falsetto, he's got like a really smooth type voice. And whenever he's doing falsetto, he gets really like breathy. Like it's like if he were to just be sitting there and singing instead of like, you can't picture this guy like in a booth going, I'm singing.
Or not on like a stage or anything. He's just kind of like talking in a way. Like he's singing at a talking voice level, I guess.
Yeah. I like it because I like things that are very low energy. So
and I think that's kind of the vibe I get from this album. Second vibe of the night, ladies and gentlemen. We don't ever comment on the second vibe. I don't know why, but it's like, it's kind of like music that makes you feel like you're having a lazy day or like you're just kind of like relaxing. It's very relaxing, like just kind of grooving, vibing for the most part. It's I don't know. It gets me in that mind state of like being sedated almost, not like by drugs or whatever, but like just being like relaxed. And just kind of like hanging out.
I can dig it. This is a very hangout song. Like I don't know. I was whenever he released this EP, because I had been listening to, he had a few singles out. He had only actually, other than this EP, he's only ever released singles. This is like his only collection of songs. But before it, I had been listening to him for about like a year and a half. And I was like wondering, because I really liked that quality about his music, that it was kind of just, I don't know, I could just like sit down and listen to it.
Just
and
vibe to it.
Yeah. And I was like, oh man, he's coming out with an album. What if it's going to be whatever? And it wasn't. It still kept the same vibe. And I was just like, yeah, man, this is cool. This is cool.
Now I can talk about it on my podcast that I have in the future.
Yeah. Even back then, I was planning.
Yeah, we knew. We always knew.
Yeah.
Back in the pizza days.
Oh shit. This dude.
Yeah, lyrically.
Yeah, lyrically, he talks about like a love person. Is that what I was about to say? A person that he loves.
Person. Yeah,
a person that
I like it. Love person. That's a good word that we've just coined. But it means your significant other.
Yeah, there we go.
Or interest at the very least.
Yeah, I'd say it's more of an interest based on where the song goes, but also, I mean, I think he's actually got engaged to his longtime partner I think it was June of last year, who, coincidentally, her name is Amaya. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Amaya Khan Teets, I think is how you... I honestly, like, I have no clue. But she also does all of the artwork for his albums, by the way.
I was going to ask. I meant to ask when you were talking about the artwork, because you mentioned that the same artist did all of the artwork, and I was like, well, does he do the art, or does he just have a friend that does? But that's cool. Yeah,
so she does it, and I think the song might be about her, because it's more of, I don't know, this more than the other song seems more like he has reason behind him feeling the way he feels about her, other than just like looking at her, or like she's a friend or something, and he's starting to like catch feelings, I guess. But I don't
see. I had a different take on this. I'm not going to say that my own thoughts were interesting, though. But so you're saying that it's just kind of like a love song where he's talking about how he. I guess I'll let you finish whatever thoughts you were going through about what the song meant to you.
The song, I mean, to me, it's always just seemed like he has feelings for somebody. I don't like. You don't really get a view from the other person's side, or a view from what he thinks the other person's side is in this song. So I kind of just always got the feeling it was like somebody he's pining for, or something that he's at least spent time with.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a component of it. But there were some lyrics that kind of made me think that he was in love with someone, but not in a healthy way. Where he says that he just, like, in the second verse, he says, I just want to get a rise from you, and that's what I do. You know I love it when you do, when you hit the bell, whatever. So it seemed like he enjoyed pushing their buttons and upsetting them, just because it gives him some sort of satisfaction that he can't really verbalize. And despite that, like, all he thinks about is them. He loves the person, and he can't see himself getting over that, but he also can't seem to do anything to keep them around, and the things that he does do aren't, like, maybe not the best way to show affection.
Yeah, and I think that that's probably a better description based on where I see the album, like the EP going, like lyric wise and other songs. So that fits more kind of with, because it's not really like there's an overarching story, I feel like, through the album, but there's definitely a common theme between a lot of the songs.
Yeah, and that theme is relationships, because we love talking about relationship albums.
Because that's like 90%
of all albums.
But you know, to get away from all these relationship albums, I think we'd have to travel all the way to Ipanema.
It's a very specific place that you would want to go to get away from that. In fact, I feel like that is the worst place you would want to go to get away from relationship songs, because isn't there that one song called Ipanema that's like the next track on this album?
Yeah, and there's also like that girl that's there too.
Yeah, she's from Ipanema. I don't know if she's there, but she's from Ipanema.
Yeah, that's true. That's where
track number 2 is Ipanema.
Boom,
ladies and gentlemen,
knocking them out,
killing it tonight, featuring Omar Apollo and Eluje.
I guess so.
Luj maybe.
Luj, maybe Luj.
No,
I don't know. Make your name easier to pronounce, dude.
Yeah, this one obviously to me is kind of got that bossa nova feel, referencing like the girl from Ipanema,
yeah.
right? But it kind of has the woos on it, right? It's got a little bit of that modern lo-fi kind of beat aesthetic to it. This is the shortest track on the album, like just over 2 minutes, and I don't know if that's a disservice to it or not. Like, I feel like I could listen to this song multiple times in a row, or like loop it or whatever, and be totally fine with it. But it also kind of like it comes, it does its thing, and it leaves, which is a good thing.
Yeah, like I agree. Like not many of his songs are very long format, and I feel like that's good for him. Like he knows when to stop a song. Like this song, it's over almost as soon as it begins. Like, but it's not to say that it's all killer, no filler. But like,
right.
I mean, there's not much there that doesn't really need to be there. I feel like, whereas sometimes, especially like for us, people that are trying to talk about things, like if you're hearing like, okay, the song's got 3 verses and 4 choruses and whatever, and it's like you can only talk about something so many times in a song, or you can only listen to it so many times. But I feel like, yeah, like you said, you can kind of repeat it and it'll do the same thing. It'll feel the same if you play the song like 2 or 3 times as it would a normal song for 4 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, I very much like the feel, the woos on the album. It's got 3 different vocalists, like I mentioned. He features 2 others. He also has vocals. He does the chorus of it, and the first verse is in Spanish, or I'm assuming it's Spanish.
I think it's Spanish.
But shame on me for being an uncultured swine who doesn't know that. But yeah, it's kind of, I love the feeling of the way that he sings the words alongside the bossa nova feel, because it just feels natural. It feels right to me, and it flows, and I like it a lot because I like foreign music.
Yeah,
even though I don't look into a lot of foreign music, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's probably not as hard as it to come by as it seems like it is, but to me it always seems like it is. Like I have to really go look for it, which it's on me that I don't. But I mean, whenever all these songs from American artists or English speaking artists are just constantly like, listen to this.
It's so accessible.
Yeah, but I agree. I really like the feel of how Omar Apollo like sings. It's cool. It kind of takes you around because he, like you said, he throws his woos on top of the typical like bossa sound, and it's, I don't know, it just feels kind of groovy. And there's like I don't know, just I like the mix of the clean guitar and the drum machine even more in this song, because it's playing a different, like the guitar is playing a different type of music rather than just playing something to accompany whatever beat he made, I guess. But it just sounds super cool because like the drums, they kind of, I don't know, there's this like fast tappy drum machine thing going on in the background while the guitar is playing like this slow sounding swingy feel type thing. So there's like the drums are going faster than the song seems like it is, and the guitar is going slower than the song seems like it is.
I like that description.
Yeah. Fast tappies.
Fast tappies. Yes. Lyrically, this one is another love song. I think every song on this album is like a love/relationship song, like we mentioned. But this one kind of has a nice theme, I thought, or at least an interesting theme to the words chosen, and that he's like running with a theme of loving him like he's dead, or like he had died, kind of a thing. So there's a lot of references and wordplay with that. Like the chorus, he says, "Love me like I'm 6 feet underneath the ground. It's so cold and nice. There's nobody around." And then even in like the second verse, I guess I don't know about the Spanish lyrics because I didn't bother to really translate them. I assume that they were about the same, but the second verse, the LUJ says, "Roses grow in the darkness. I need you. The lights don't cut when you're outside." So there's still kind of that like the implication that he's in a dark box somewhere underground.
Yeah.
And wanting that kind of love, because people don't usually express the full extent of their love until the person that they love has died, which is unfortunate, but it's life.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out whether it meant, because initially whenever I listened to it, I definitely was in the camp of, yeah, like he's asking her to show all this affection like you would, like you see people weeping in funerals, because it's like they're showing all their love now. But I didn't know if he meant like he's dead and she didn't, like currently he could have been dead to her. But I don't know if I'm stretching, because it seems like there's so much like unreciprocated obsession, I guess, in this guy, in the way that he's singing about this girl. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it could definitely be like you said, that he is dead to her, because the second half of the chorus, the last line is, they can't hold me in the ground.
Yeah.
Meaning that, like, theoretically, if he had died and she didn't give half a shit, he was still in love with her enough that he would kind of be revived, and he would be able to break out and come back, and he's not going away, despite the fact that she's not reciprocating those feelings.
He's never giving up.
Never. Not even when he's dead.
Yeah.
Till death do we not part.
Yeah. And, he's just going to keep loving her like it's some sort of habit.
Segue of the night.
Boom.
Smooth AF, brother.
That's me, man.
Track number 3 is Habit.
Boom.
This is... I have mixed feelings about the song. I think it's my favorite song on the album.
Oh, shit.
On the EP. But I also... There's a little bit of it that annoys me. I really like the guitar lead riff in this one. The bass feels good. The vocal rhythm and the melody and the harmony are great. I feel like this song specifically nails the Woo's style kind of a thing that he's trying to cultivate. But I don't know. There's he kind of like he quickly spits a few of the bars in the verse, and it something about it just puts me off. It kind of like, I don't know, it almost reminds me of like a Justin Timberlake kind of like R&B poppy thing, which I'm not a fan of, that whole like genre of like pop R&B stuff from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. And it kind of evokes that a little bit when he says, I could give a fuck about you. You know that I do, or whatever he talks about in the verse. Just the way he delivers some of the lines kind of it reminds me of that, and it kind of makes me cringe. Otherwise, I love the song.
This actually was this was the only song I had heard before this EP came out, or before I heard the EP, I guess. He released it as a single. And that, what you're talking about, where he like goes into like a rap thing halfway through the first verse, while it doesn't really leave like a bad taste in my mouth or anything, it did. This was kind of what worried me about the album, where I was like, is this going to be different? Like, is this going to be more prominent? Which I'm glad it wasn't. I don't mind it that much, but yeah, it's not. I like the rest of the song, and I would have liked the song just as much, if not more, without it. So, but I like, he definitely nails the Woos on this one. Like, there's that guitar line, it's just so clean, and like the way the bass backs up whenever the chords hit, like he'll play like a little line and then hit some chords with it, and it's like the bass comes in and it's just like poof. And it's just really nice feeling.
It is pretty good. Lyrically, this one again is a love song. To me, it seemed like he wanted a relationship with someone. Like, so he and this person were kind of in a, I guess it's a she. He and a woman were like casually involved in some capacity, and he wanted to make it more of like a relationship kind of thing, and she was kind of more interested in keeping it casual, so he was kind of like trying to figure out where the line is drawn there.
Yeah, it's definitely like it lends itself to the past two songs being from his point of view, like he's really obsessing over the girl. She's become a habit. Like he talks about it I mean, there's no like ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's telling her like, you could be my habit, like instead of my drug, like you could be the thing that like I'm always about. And she's just like, what? But it doesn't seem healthy. But he's telling it from his side. This is why I'm not sure if Lava was actually about his then girlfriend, now fiance, I guess.
Right.
But I mean, I guess it could have been, but it just doesn't seem like it would be, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. This whole like EP kind of like, it seems like a relationship that is destined to not work out.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah,
I was kind of surprised that you thought the first song like off the bat was about his current fiance, and I was just like, wow, that's an interesting take, because I got the opposite feeling from it.
I mean, it could have been. I don't know. Some people have those relationships for like their whole life, so I don't know. Some people have the very big feelings, and they're always about that. But I don't know. This is yeah.
I gave up trying to think of a good way to segue. Track number 4.
I was just gonna say no. Fool Song is the name of the 4th track, because Fool Song. I was going to say something about me being a fool for thinking Lava was a song about me. But, that wouldn't have made sense.
I mean, none of our segues make sense, so it wouldn't have been far off. Track number 4, Fool Song. This one has like some reversed samples of like guitars and like risers and stuff like that, and there's some like weird vocal samples and stuff that comprise the melody. I really like that kind of playing with samples. Yeah. I think we both do. I think we've talked about that several times on the podcast. Aside from that, though, I feel like this is kind of more of the same, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But at this point in the EP, like, it's a short EP. Like, you can listen to it in 15 minutes. It's not an issue. Yeah. This is more than the same, because I've only been listening to it for like 10 minutes at this point in the EP. But yeah, it didn't really stand out too much apart from those.
Oh, shit. Because this is my favorite song on the EP.
Well...
Fuck,
I guess we're gonna have to fight.
No, it's like, I could see it. It's the things I like about it are pretty small, honestly. Like small potatoes. Like, I just like a lot of the effects that he uses, like you said, like the reverse sounding vocal samples. He's got, at certain points whenever he's singing in like the verses, he does this thing where he has like what sounds like a dropped out backup vocal. Like, he just took his own lead vocals and just like distorted them or dropped them down an octave or something and just put it behind him for like a really cool kind of wavy sound. And yeah. And then there's one thing that just shows you how many times I've fucking listened to this song, is that there's like a 1 second clip that leads right into the second verse that sounds like a little twisty voice that's like, meh. And I mean, I can't do it because a computer did it.
I heard you.
But it's just cool. I like it. It's just a cool little sound that every time it comes on, I'm like, yeah.
I like that you like the song because of that. Because I also like, I mean, like you said, it's kind of a testament to how many times you've listened to the song, and songs that you listen, like you enjoy enough to listen to that many times, and you're still finding kind of like new little quirky things in the song that you like, is just like, it's why I love music so much, I think.
Yeah.
There's always so much depth that a lot of artists put into music that you don't realize is there until you've sat with it for a very long time.
Hell yeah. Or until you listen to it the right way. Like, back whenever I used to listen to music on like shitty earbuds.
Yeah. Dude, listening on like a phone speaker is just, I hate it.
Like, it's nuts, because you can listen to stuff on that and be like, yeah, I like this song. And then, like, now, the setup that I have is, like, from my PC, like, if I'm listening to music at work, my computer is next to, like, my work computer. Mm-hmm. And I just put in, like, I have a little dongle that you can get, like, push a button for surround sound, like 7.1 quality or whatever, on the headphones. And I never knew what it was for. And one day I started listening to Spotify off my computer instead of off my phone. And I hit that button and it was just like, what the fuck?
You're so immersed.
It was amazing. And ever since then, I just have not been able to go back.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say that I'm an audiophile to the extreme that is evoked when you say audiophile.
Yeah.
But there's definitely something to be said for listening to music with high quality gear.
Yeah. Or at least like medium quality instead of like low quality. Because I mean, I guess if you're, I don't know, like my headset is probably like $80.
Yeah.
But I also use it for video games. So, you know, and I've probably also destroyed my ears to the point where even if I was an audiophile, it wouldn't make too much of a difference. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think one of my never mind. I was about to tangent about what I plan on buying in the future. It's not totally relevant. Maybe she will. Wait, do we skip the lyrics?
We kind of skipped the lyrics, but I mean, it's kind of just. I think this is like the inevitability of the last song happening. Like, he doesn't know, like, his standing with the girl. She finds out that, or he confesses or whatever, that he feels the way he does, or he obsesses the way he does. And then it leads to her being like, oh, and he's like, I fucked it up. Like, this is the song of him being a fool and potentially ruining or messing up the relationship that they did have.
Yeah, I feel like there was something in here. I should have noted the lyrics. I feel like at some point it seemed like she was okay with him, or what she would maybe be interested, but he just didn't have his shit together enough. And this song to me was kind of about him realizing that, where he's like saying like, look, I'm not fit to be in a relationship. I love being with this person, but I know that it's not going to work out. I know that like I'm not mentally or emotionally available in the way that she wants me to. I feel like there was something in here that implied that she wanted to like make it work, or at least was like coming back to him or something. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
There probably is.
Oh yeah, in the bridge, the start of the bridge, he says, "I fuck it up when you come back."
Yeah,
I know that you would like that. And you don't get mad, and all you could do is laugh. I fuck it up now, looking like a dog. You say we could work it. Don't know if I heard it right. So maybe there's a bit of that where he's like hearing what he wants to hear from her. But I took that to mean that like she's willing to like work with him on it, but he's like at the same time realizing that like he's not in a place that he needs to be in a relationship, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. Like if she was willing to, because it didn't seem like in the song she was going to outright like be like, no, we can't even be friends anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah, most of the song was him talking about him being shitty.
Yeah,
or him fucking things up, kind of a thing.
But you know what? Maybe she is still gonna be with him. Who knows?
Yeah, I realized that like I said maybe she, and you knew I was segueing, and I knew I was segueing, and then I said the thing about the lyrics, and people just got dropped there. I had no idea what I was going to say about maybe she. Number 5 is maybe she. This one's got it's a strong ending track, I think. Yeah. The EP, it's got a bit of an upbeat kind of chill lo-fi thing. Pretty much what I expected at this point, but it's a bit more like I said, upbeat, kind of faster paced, kind of dealio. I didn't have a lot of music notes for it otherwise.
Yeah, same here. Other than like it kept the woozy feeling, but it just turned it up a little bit. You know, it's got a little bit more going on. Like how Lava was kind of more to start out with. I felt like it was a little not high energy or anything, because I feel like nothing on here is really high energy, but it's more like the drums are turned up a little bit. This kind of the electronic synth stuff is more present here, rather than just like the guitar. But you know, for a drum machine, I like the drums. It's just like, I guess the beats. Is that what this would be? It's not drums. They're not drums. Nobody's banging anything.
I mean, if you get like a rolling drum machine kind of thing, you still have to like hit a pad, right?
Yeah. So. Or maybe he's hitting the buttons on a drum machine with drumsticks.
Or it's all programmed and it's all a lie.
Yeah, that's actually probably what it is. But, you know, I mean, this dude's making the music in his garage. However he feels like making it, keep doing it. man.
Yeah, clearly it works for Joey. Maybe for me. Maybe she. Seems to be a song. It's kind of related to Habit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Where it seemed like he was going in to a relationship. This one, so like in Habit, I said that it seemed like he was in love and he wants a relationship, but she wanted to keep things casual. This one, I feel like it's kind of maybe extrapolating on that a little bit, where it feels like he goes into the relationship expecting to keep it casual, but then he realizes that he actually has feelings for her.
Yeah.
And maybe like at the beginning, they both wanted it to just be a casual thing, and she did not end up growing in the same way that he did, or at least not the same direction. I don't mean to say like she was stunted from growing or whatever, and she was looking at herself, but he wanted more from the relationship, and she was just like, no, that wasn't part of the arrangement. And so they're kind of in this weird kind of position that I think is represented throughout the rest of the EP.
Yeah, I mean, this song's got me confused, which is one of the lyrics. I don't know. Like, there's so many things where I think, like, I'm with you 100%, but then there's parts of me that are like, what if the dude still woozy? His name is Sven Gamsky.
Sure.
Gamsky, that is his name, Sven Gamsky. I wonder if Sven is going to listen to this and be like, that is not at all what, like, I meant this. Like, I don't know why I feel that way, because it seems pretty clear, like, what he's talking about. But I don't know. Man.
I think the reason you feel that way is because you're associating it with his fiance, perhaps.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Clearly they're working out, so this can't be... Either I'm misunderstanding something, or the alternative is this isn't about her.
Yeah, which the alternative seems to be the better option.
Right. But hey, Sven, if you are listening to this and you think we're interpreting this in the wrong way, or you don't like what we have to say, please let us know. Like, I think it'd be interesting to have that discussion with the artist. But at the same point, as we've kind of mentioned a handful of times, it's not really his music anymore, right? He's released it. So however we interpret it is valid, right? So it's what we get from the music that matters more than what it meant.
Yeah, whatever story we come up with, maybe we're wrong depending on how he intended it, but we're not wrong in our interpretation of it, in the fact that we're creating a new reality every time we listen to it. Boom!
Every single time we listen to it, we think it's something completely different.
I mean, if you go by like the infinite worlds thing, we really are creating...
It's a multiverse.
We're always creating new realities every time we do anything.
Every word we choose,
wouldn't that be
sequential order, creates a new dimension, right?
God, I feel like the whole
possible timeline,
like everything would just go into a black hole. Like there'd just be too much information at a certain point.
I mean, is there a limit to how much information can exist in the universe?
I mean, there's a limit. So. There, maybe not in the. I mean, there is. I'm sure there's a limit that can exist in our universe, because I know there's a limit to how much can exist in your brain, but it's like it's like a stupid amount of information. Like,
right, but if we could pass off that information, put on like hard drives, right?
That's true.
Or some alien technology that has a near infinite capacity, right? Just a couple of those and you're good.
Oh my god.
We're getting way off course here. We're talking about space and aliens and shit. I'm a believer. But
I think you'd have to be stupid not to be.
Speaking of aliens and cool shit, this is the best segue we've ever done. Next week, we're going to be listening to the album Sci-Fi Crimes by the band Chevelle, which I feel like it was a pretty big album. Maybe not the biggest of their albums, but it is my favorite of their albums. And part of that, I think, is maybe due to nostalgia, but I also just really think that this album holds up over time very well, and I like every single track on the album, and I want to take us in a different direction. So we're doing Chevelle's Sci-Fi Crimes next week. So if you guys want to keep up with us, listen to that this week, and we'll be discussing it next week. Drop our comments. Let us know what you thought about this episode. If you prefer the shorter length episode, if you want EPs to be a more common thing, we can totally do that. Because I say that this was a shorter episode, it's still been like 40 minutes at this point. So we clearly had enough to talk about, or enough to derail. about to fill time. So I apologize if we promised that this would be a short episode and it wasn't. But yeah, let us know if you have an album or an EP that you want us to talk about, because the whole point of this is to discover shit, and we like discovering shit. So give us some recommendations, and we'll check them out for sure. If not on the podcast, at least in our personal time, we'll check them out for sure.
Yeah, and then maybe we'll like just say something offhanded one day and be like, "Oh yeah, somebody so and so sent this, and it was cool."
Yeah.
End of discussion.
We'll reference it while we're talking about another album. Say, "Oh yeah, well that reminded me of this thing that John Johnson sent us."
Dude, if your name is John Johnson out there, recommend me an album.
Yeah, seriously, I'll listen to anything you recommend, John Johnson. Until then, stay in our feedback loop.
Bye.